Hi, and welcome along to AFTV. We're here for some breaking news, some good news regarding Myles Lewis-Skelly. Congratulations going out to him. He has been called up for the England squad, the first England squad of Thomas Tuchel, and Myles Lewis-Skelly has been named in the squad. It's absolutely incredible news for the player, incredible news for his family. What a journey it has been for Myles Lewis-Skelly this season. I remember seeing him playing in pre-season over there in America, and me and the guys were commenting saying, hey, he should play, he looks all right, you know what I mean? He's aggressive in his play, you know what I mean? Looks a confident kid, you know what I mean? But not for a minute did I think that this kid was going to establish himself as a first-team player at Arsenal. He's taken his chances because, let's be real. There's, been a lot of injuries in that left-back position, which has enabled him to get his chance. But boy, has he seized this chance. Think about it at the start of this season. I want you to just think about this, right? The players ahead of him, right, going into the season. Remember, first of all, he's a midfield player. He's not a left-back. His primary position is in the midfield. Ahead of him, right? Calafiori, big money signing in the summer for 40-odd million pounds, right? Alexander Zinchenko, established Arsenal player, captain of the Ukraine, leader, part of the leadership group at Arsenal, right? Kieran Tierney, right? Been captain of Scotland, established left-back player, even though it looks he was injured at the time, but since he's come back, he's been keeping those three players out. And then Jurrien Timber, remember, was playing at left back and probably would have stayed at left, playing in that left back position had it not been for the injuries to Ben White, and Ben White had to have the operation. Tomiyasu also injured. Tomiyasu, if fit, could also have played in that left back position, right? So all of those things have sort of had to fall into place, right? With injuries to various one of those players at some stage, because we've had injuries to Zinchenko, Tierney was out. You had Timber having to go into that right-hand position because, no Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu couldn't play there. And even, there's been injuries to Calafiori. And when he stepped in, basically because of emergency, he has been so good that he's been keeping those players out of the team. The manager's been like, oh my God, this kid's been really good there. And despite the fact that, he's had those couple of sending-offs, one of them which was, it was rescinded in the end. But look at his performances. They have been excellent. They've been consistent. He's strong. He's good on the ball. He can carry the ball. His passing's good. As I said, he's an aggressive player. And he scored that, that famous goal against Manchester City. Showed a bit of arrogance, but good arrogance. In his celebration when he mocked, Haaland. And this came on the back of Haaland saying earlier on in the season, when he had an argument with him in the game at Man City at the Etihad, who the F are you? Well, you know what? The whole of England now knows who the F he is. He's Myles Lewis-Skelly, and he's just earned an England call-up. And it's absolutely fantastic. I saw his mum at the game the other night, and she was buzzing just for him to be playing, as she always has. You've seen some of the videos of her, saying, she can't believe it, that, he's playing week in, week out. And this is such a great story. And yet again, another success story coming out of Hale End. We all know the leading light of that is Bukayo Saka, out injured at the moment, as we know. But, Saka, Nwaneri, who's broken through this season, who, by the way, right, I'm going to run through the England squad in a minute, but he's very unlucky not to be in this squad as well. Let me run through the England squad, because there's a few surprises in there as well, actually. But let me run through the England squad. Hold on, I just had it here now, and then it's just gone and flipped past me. Right, here it is. In goal, Jordan Pickford, Dean Henderson, Aaron Ramsdale gets in there, and James Trafford. Defenders, Mark Gay, Reece James, Levi Colwill, Ezri Konsa made it in from Liverpool. He's had a good season. Tino Livramento, Newcastle. Jarrell Kwanzaa. Sorry, Jarrell Kwanzaa's the one from Liverpool, not Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa's from Villa. Dan Burn, Kyle Walker, and Myles Lewis-Skelly. Though the defenders, midfielders, Jude Bellingham, Eze, Jordan Henderson. Is this a squad from 2018 or something? I mean, what's going on? Curtis Jones, Cole Palmer, Declan Rice, of course, one of England's main players, and Morgan Rogers. And the forward players, Anthony Gordon, Jared Bowen, Phil Foden, lucky to be in there, Marcus Rashford's back, Dominic Solanke, and Harry Kane. Very unlucky. And when you look at those forward players, Ethan Nwaneri, not to get in there. Should Nwaneri, for instance, have got in ahead of Rashford? Because for me, despite Rashford going to Villa and sort of reviving himself, he hasn't scored any goals. He's put in some decent performances, but Nwaneri has been excellent. Foden, has he done more than to earn a call than Nwaneri, other than the fact that his name's Phil Foden? I think Ethan Nwaneri is very unlucky not to have made that squad. Maybe the manager's looking and saying he's 17. Let me just take a little longer look at him. For selfish reasons, I'm actually glad that Ethan Nwaneri's not made that squad, because you know what, right? We need him, right? And we got very important games coming up in the Champions League and that. And the last thing we need is him going on international duty and getting injured. You know what I mean? Because still only a very young player. So from selfish reasons, I'm glad he's not in it. But when I look at that squad, I feel if Ethan Nwaneri keeps playing how he's been playing this season, it's only a matter of time before he makes that England squad, because he's been absolutely excellent. But the great news, as I said, is Myles Lewis-Skelly making the England squad. And it's well-deserved. This is not like something that you look at and think, well, you know, when you look at some of the other names in that squad, you might be like, well, how comes he's in there? And how comes he's in there? Myles Lewis-Skelly deserves to be in that squad. And of course, it's an important squad, this as well. This is Thomas Tuchel's first England squad, as Thomas Tuchel takes over from Gareth Southgate. So it's an important squad, because it's his first squad. And obviously for your first squad as a manager, you want to put out a squad that's going to be good and that's going to probably beat the opposition. I think the Albania and Latvia, it was pretty easy games coming up, but you want to put out a good squad. And of course, this is a big challenge as well for Myles Lewis-Skelly now, because it's about, you don't want to just get in a squad. You want to stay in that squad. You want to be a fixture in that squad, because you know what the big prize is? Next year, 2026, the World Cup, USA, Canada, Mexico, probably going to be the biggest World Cup ever. Myles Lewis-Skelly, you're in the squad. He's got a chance. You want to stay in that squad. So this will help his performances at Arsenal, because he's going to want to put in big performances every week. The manager trusts him. The manager's going to trust him even more now that he's got an England call-up. These are big, big times for Myles Lewis-Skelly. Exciting times for Myles Lewis-Skelly. And I'm so happy for him, so happy for his family. And it just goes to show, for all them young players out there in the youth team at Hayland, in youth teams and academy teams all over the country, this can happen. This is what can happen if you wait for your time, if you apply yourself. And when that chance comes, you got to take it. And by God, has Myles Lewis-Skelly taken his chance. So once again, congratulations going out to Myles Lewis-Skelly, who has been named in Thomas Tuchel's first ever England squad. Let's hope he gets some game time in it as well. But wow, what a moment for the kid. What a moment for Arsenal, and what a moment for their academy. Keep churning out those great players. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out some of our excellent videos that we've had out this week. The video that we did with Dr. Andre, where he was explaining the injury to Bukayo Saka, whether he should be rushed back or not. And also, where he talks about how VAR has affected the amount of hamstrings that have been happening in the Premier League. So interesting. Make sure you jump on that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.